Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome to another session of our Day One Beyond series, where we will take you through various topics and activities related to building on an Oracle Cloud. Our today's session is Rethink What You Know About Enterprise Content with Oracle Web Center, which will cover ECM concepts, modern solutions, as well as administration, monitoring, and development. I'd like to introduce Sachin Kara as today's presenter, and that said, I'll hand over to Sachin.
Yeah, hello and welcome everyone. We really appreciate your time and participation, and thanks for joining us today as we unfold an interesting session. Before we start, I'd like to mention that this session is part of the Day One and Beyond series, and we discussed about the relevance of enterprise content management in our earlier session on the same topic. Today's session also promises to be insightful and engaging as it covers how we align and rethink about enterprise content management with WebCenter Content 14C on OCI. Well, for a very long time now, organizations have handled documents, digital assets, records, and other forms of unstructured content using isolated systems, fragmented workflows, or legacy tools. As a result, enterprise content management has often meant complex processes, rigid compliance requirements, and generally non user friendly experiences. So, in this session, we'll explore how Oracle Web Center Content is helping organizations streamline the end to end content management puzzle, ensure compliance, and unlock the real business value. Please feel free to submit your questions as what Borna mentioned. With that, let us get going. I'm Sachin Kora, Director of Product Management for WebCenter Suite of Products. Having experienced the enterprise content management domain for over 20 years, it is my pleasure to talk about the advancements in WebCenter. Let me walk you through the key topics that we'll be covering in today's session. This agenda is designed to give you a well-rounded understanding of Oracle Web Center Content, from its core capabilities to how it supports both users and developers. We'll start with a high-level look at Oracle Web Center Content, what it is, what sets it apart, and how it redefines traditional enterprise content management. This will lay the foundation for understanding the platform's full capabilities. Next, we'll focus on how WebCenter empowers users with streamlined, intuitive interface, making it easier to find, use, and manage content in the flow of their daily work. We'll also highlight how the modern UX directly translates to increased productivity and better user adoption. Then we'll move into the administration side, covering how WebCenter simplifies content governance, lifecycle management, and performance monitoring. Whether you're managing a small content repository or an enterprise-wide deployment, we'll discuss how the relevant admin tools can be of help. We'll also discuss how WebCenter supports developers with flexible customization and integration capabilities. Whether it's building new functionality or integrating with other systems, WebCenter offers the tools and frameworks to extend the capabilities to fit developer needs. With that, let's get started by exploring how WebCenter Content is helping organizations move beyond traditional ECM and unlock the full value of their enterprise content. Okay, let's first look at the challenges. Before we dive deeper, it's important to first understand that what challenges organizations face today. While these issues are not entirely new, what has changed is the huge scale and volume of documents being generated, coupled with the growing complexity of modern IT infrastructure. Many organizations now operate in hybrid environments, with some application hosted on premises, others in the cloud. Further, this compounds the content management issues. The first major challenge is the presence of multiple disconnected content repositories, an outcome of addressing business processes needs through various systems such as ERPs, CRMs, custom portals, or bespoke applications, each maintaining their own disparate systems. Organizations really encounter issues related to scalability, performance, and cost, ultimately recognizing that this fragmented approach is unsustainable. The second challenge involves ability to locate content in context, which is closely linked to the previous issue as documents are scattered across various application specific repositories. Retrieving the right content quickly and in the correct business context becomes very difficult. For instance, a manager attempting to approve an expense may need to consult HR policies which are stored in a separate HR application or a portal, leading to inefficiencies. This inability to find the right document at the right time in the right context, it negatively impacts productivity, and a challenge that many organizations are familiar with. With increasing adoption of generative AI, there's a growing desire to leverage many such capabilities of Gen AI, and in doing so, they often lose the critical security and access control, which is typically tied to source application also. This also introduces potential security risk and that forces organizations to limit the GenAI usage. Finally, many departments still rely on manual workflows or let's say partially automated processes that also remain disconnected. As these challenges continue to persist, it is important that organizations begin to view documents not as isolated assets within individual departments, but as shared resources that can span across business units and applications. The real value of information is realized when it flows seamlessly between departments, enabling cross functional collaboration as well as enhancing the efficiency of, let's say, end to end business processes. When content is siloed within a single department or system, it limits the organization's ability to make informed decisions. It also slows down processes and ultimately hampers the agility. Now, if you notice, there are numerous use cases that demonstrate the importance of interdepartmental content sharing. For example, HR and finance may need to collaborate on employee reimbursements, right? Or legal and procurement may need shared access to contract documentation. In such scenarios, having disconnected repositories across different applications creates a friction and inefficiency. Now, Oracle Web Center Content addresses these challenges with a secure, scalable, and unified content repository. It enables organizations to centralize their content infrastructure while maintaining control and accessibility across many of these business processes. Some examples listed here are like claims processing, accounts payable, employee onboarding, and many more. If you see a centralized approach, that can help mitigate the complexities and redundancies that are caused by distributed multi-repository environments. So I think I've said it enough, but in today's dynamic digital landscape, it's no longer sufficient to manage documents in isolation. With that, let us see what WebCenter Content has to offer in this regard. So WebCenter Content, it offers a full set of tools and services for managing content across the enterprise. It supports content management needs overall, including storing, organizing, securing, as well as sharing these documents. The platform also provides APIs, making it easy to connect with other business applications like Oracle EBS, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, and even third-party systems. This helps ensuring that the documents are available exactly when they are needed, where they are needed in your business workflows. Now, it runs on the reliable and scalable Oracle database, which also enables performance, data security, and the ability to grow your business needs. In terms of features, WebCenter Content handles document management with built-in workflows for approvals and reviews. It also supports digital asset management for images and videos and includes imaging tools to automate paper-based tasks. Content added to the system can also be managed as official records, which means records management, on which you can apply rules for how long they can be kept or when they can be deleted, retention or archival, helping with compliance and governance. This is critical, right? It also provides powerful search capabilities, content classification capabilities using metadata, and then strong access controls to make sure right people can find the right information at the right time. In summary, Oracle Web Center Content helps organizations connect their documents, improve processes, and gain better control over all their enterprise content in one unified platform. With that, the entire solution can actually be set up on premises or deployed in OCI Marketplace. Now, isn't that interesting? We have got a lot of transformation in the recent releases. There is a simplification of provisioning and management when deployed on Marketplace. So we have made sure that Web Center Content environments, whether it is your production environment or development environment, it can be easily provisioned using a very simple user interface, a wizard-based tool. And on the management side also, we have made some similar simplifications. And there are tooling provided for the simplification. As example, OCI logging or OCI console are available for understanding what is happening around the key metrics. And similarly, tools like patching scripts, they can help patch a Web Center environment. We also have got a lot of OCI services integrated with Web Center Content so that use cases like document management, digital asset management, which I spoke about, they can be easily addressed via OCI Marketplace adoption itself. So it gives, to give an example, we have got Web Center Content integrated with 23 AI database so that we can easily provide you semantic and conversational search. I'll talk about this in form of some demos also. So a host of GenAI capabilities like AI agent framework is now available. With REST APIs available, there are embeddable UI components for customizing VBCS UI, for example. So like other services that can be integrated are Oracle Process Automation, OpenSearch, Object Storage, and I can keep on, talking about it. So the best part is that we need to look at the use cases and then see how the fitment happens. Okay, with that, let us get to the next section that focuses on the key benefits of modernizing Oracle Web Center content to enhance productivity for end users. As organizations evolve, so do their expectations around usability, speed, and efficiency when interacting with Web Center content. To better illustrate the usability improvements, I will be actually showcasing a few demos, and this will highlight key features of the modernized interface and provide a practical view of how these enhancements contribute to a more efficient and user-friendly content management experience. So let's get there. Cool. Let me introduce you to the new user interface based on the Redwood design theme that enhances the usability aspects multifold. For this demo, I have logged into WebCenter Content and I can view the menu option libraries. I can easily browse the same in list form, tabular form, or a card view form. Let me go to the card view form, and then I'm interested to browse a library called demo, let's say. Now, in this case, I open the library and I can see all the folders and folder structure hierarchy that is part of the library. Within this, let me browse through a folder called Project Gemstones. Yeah, let me just go to Project Gemstones. And because Project Gemstones has a lot of agency related artifacts that were shared with me, I can see that there's no folder to upload documents, although there's a folder to upload assets. So let me actually go ahead and create a new folder called Documents Upload. So I'll just name it Documents Upload. Uh, Now this allows me to create a folder easily, and now I can browse to that folder to upload documents or a set of documents. Now within this folder, I do have a profile. I can actually map it to a profile and associate my documents to that profile as well. In this case, let me choose Gemstone documents as I want to upload documents related to Project Gemstone only. So let me now browse through my local machine and then select a PDF. First, yeah, I'll select the profile. Let me now go to document upload and now select a PDF. I can select multiple files also here. Right now it's a specification document that I selected. And in this case, metadata associated to the profile is also visible. But let me first go and choose a security group instead of public. Let me say I want to choose secure. Okay, I can now go back, and I can actually add other fields. For example, let me add a few comments and, let me choose a document type. Maybe I'll just add expiration date as well. And I can select document type, I can select expiration date, and then I'll finally upload this document after specifying the comments. Uh, when I upload this document or when I click on the document upload, I'm actually able to view the document in the unified viewer. So let me quickly type in the document type, and now I can select to upload this document. As soon as it's uploaded, it's available in the repository. And once I go to the viewer, I can view the document and the thumbnails of all the pages on the left. If you see, the document is shown in the center. On the right, you will see the summary tab as well as various renditions for the document along with the metadata. So this is the metadata that I populated earlier, if you recall. Perfect. So this gives you a good hang of what Redwood UI is all about. With that, let us move to the next section and talk about how search capabilities work in WebCenter content. And it offers really powerful search capabilities across files, folders, and libraries, ensuring users can quickly locate the content they need. The advanced search drawer also provides flexible options that allow searches by metadata fields or full text content, or a combination of both. So let us see this demo so we understand it better. We learn about searching across content repository. For that, we'll browse through the search page and then move to the top of the page, which has a search bar. And the options really are files, folders, or libraries that you can search across. So if you see the drop down on the top, that's when you will see files, folders, or libraries. Now, in this case, let me just select folders and let me type in a folder name across which I want to search in the content repository. I can also select libraries as an option and then, again type in a word or a text that I want to search across the library names within WebCenter content. I surely can go ahead and select files as an option too, which allows me to have more choices to make. So when I want to search and filter documents, for example, I may be choosing type. So if I say type, let me say I want to choose, file as an option, and let me now say that I want to use a document type to be, let's say something as an option to select document type. Now, once I do this, it allows you to filter across all the documents of that particular type document, right? But I can also choose a security group to be, let's say, public or secure. In this case, let me select choose secure. And once I do this, I can also choose a folder across across the repository. So let me now go ahead and select a folder. Let's say the folder name is demo that I'll choose. And after applying these three filters, now I can search for any specific phrase. So yeah, now let me search for a specific phrase. Let's say I want to search for carrot weight because these are gemstones. Let me search for carrot weight. So when I'm searching for carrot and weight as two different phrases, it can appear in any of the documents as full text or as metadata. So the search results shows me two documents, right? Now I can actually go ahead and see the document, and I will realize that the word carrot or the word weight, appeared in the full text of the document. It could have been the metadata also. In this case, it was the full text. So that's a quick example to show you how you can easily filter down and you can search on documents. But there's also a concept of query folder. A query folder is a folder that can run the query on a frequent basis. So when you click on that folder, it allows you to have easy access to search results. Let me create a folder in the same path. If I browse through that folder, you will notice that the query folder displays the same search results on selection, which I've just done. So perfect. Let us now proceed and go to the next section and see how this works. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run and open that query folder and open the folder. As soon as I run the query on the query folder by clicking on that particular folder, it shows me the same search results. So that's the great feature about query folder. Now let us see something called advanced search. Now, when you choose advanced search as an option, advanced search in WebCenter content allows you to choose a profile across which you can select the metadata fields. And these can be elaborative, right? You can search across multiple metadata fields using or condition and condition. You can select a profile, metadata like any metadata with some filters. For example, you can choose whether you want to have a selection of a profile against matches as a criteria or contains as a criteria. So all that you can easily do, and so you can apply multiple filters on advanced search screen. And once done, and you perform the advanced search, it gives you the results based on all the search filters applied. This is another way of looking at search, because basic search only gives you some specific options on the UI. Advanced search gives you rest of the other options to actually search. So while I'm talking about search, I should also talk about semantic search or conversational search, because this is related and this is much more advanced way of searching for documents because it gives the context to the user. So with WebCenter Content 14.1.2, we now have GenAI capabilities. The demo that I'll showcase you now is semantic search and conversational search, as I just mentioned, and we are leveraging the capabilities of 23 AI database over here. So the semantic search, as the name says, it is unlike the free text search which we just saw in the previous demo, and it looks for the intended meaning of the word that the user is searching for, and then gets the documents accordingly. So the user, without knowing the keywords, will be able to find documents easily and quickly. And that is what I'm going to actually show you as a difference between a free text search and how semantic search actually works. Even if you don't put the right keywords, it is able to find you the right document. Now, we have introduced semantic search as part of Redwood UI. So to actually show you a demo, I'll actually jump into Redwood UI now. Yeah, so this is my Redwood UI. Let me begin with the normal text search. So I'm mentioning Web Center sites overview here just to search something so that I can show you how the results come in. So when I mention Web Center sites overview, it takes those as three different words. It looks for these exact keywords and immediately is able to find it. But I'm looking for Web Center content roadmap, for example. I'm not looking for specifically roadmap items or decks. So let me mention WCC future plans. So WCC future plan means I'm actually looking for roadmap. So it's not exact keyword, but I'm trying to intend something. So the search is of future plan means roadmap. So it gets me the roadmap artifacts. I can show you one more example where I can search for Web Center managed services, right? As you can see now. So if I search for Web Center managed services, it will show me Web Center and it will show me manage and it will show me service, as separate words and get me something, but not exactly what I'm looking for. So if I search using semantic by adding some more information to it, saying, I want to know about the key services, it will surely show me the relevant results. So it understands what am I asking and what am I intending to ask. So that's, semantic search basically helps users to find the right content accordingly. Now, The next aspect of, the next level of search is conversational search. And this is taking semantic search to the next level. And we've introduced this again in the Web Center Content 14.1.2. As the name suggests, you can now converse over a document. Now imagine that, it's a huge document. You don't require as a user to go through it. So you can immediately start asking relevant details via, let's say, conversations. And this is not limited to one document, as this has to be secure. Content conversations and the search is possible if you have access to these documents only, right? So it has to be secure. So if you do not have access, you will not be able to really converse, as well as you will not be able to really get the information from these documents, because you will not be able to even do a normal search on those documents, right? So it also ensures that there is no hallucination or there's no wrong answers provided. I'll actually show you in a demo. So let me actually show you that. Again, we'll go back to Redwood UI because Redwood UI viewer has a new capability. So let me now jump to Redwood UI viewer. And here we will actually get into the details around the metadata screen, where we will see how the chat interface works, the conversational UI interface now works, and how the data sheet, which I'm going to take as an example, is going to give me results, right? So let me go to open a document now, and let's say the document is a data sheet of Web Center content. And now if you see, the same viewer shows me the thumbnails on the left side and the metadata on the right side, as I earlier told you on the UI. Now this section, it asks me if I want to summarize this document. If I just go ahead and let me open the chat interface, which is the conversational search interface, and which is a simple chat interface, and I can just say I want to search. But before I say search, it will say whether I want to get the document summarized. So if I select this option, and if I can see the summarization of that particular document. I can actually ask a question also. So let me put some questions. So let me rephrase. So let me say, instead of saying what features does Web Center content have, I can say what can Web Center content do for me, right? So it will basically understand that it is about features that I'm asking. So it lists out all the features from the data sheet document that that I've provided to be read. So although the demo is not showing other features of conversational search, I can also ask a question about something which is not available in the document as it is, or the data sheet. For example, let's say we don't support ATPs, in the older version. So if it doesn't have ATP, it promptly will mention that it is not clarified in the document, rather than hallucinating or giving you wrong information. So that's what conversational search is all about. And again, another interesting aspect of demo that I wanted to showcase. So with that, let's move from search, and let's now get into another key capability of usability, which is the customizing columns, right? So why do you want to customize columns? So whatever columns were displayed in the search results, and the folder browsing views, user can actually manage those columns, or the column configuration, so that they can enable to add or remove these columns based on system defined or custom metadata fields also. This flexibility ensures only the most relevant information is shown to you, or tailored to the specific business needs, or of the user roles, really. So users can effortlessly switch between different column configurations using, simple drop down menu. So let me actually show you the demo so it is better understood. So I'll go to the column configuration screen and choose a different configuration. I'll start with choosing default for now, and then the default shows me, how many columns are there, and what is desired. It just shows me. So let me actually open. Yeah. So these are the columns which I can see. So let me go ahead and manage my configuration by editing an existing configuration. In this case, I will edit the default configuration to change the columns. So I can either delete existing columns, if you see the column names here, or I can add new columns, right? So I can or I can even reorder the location of my columns on the UI. So I can do all of that on this particular screen, right? In this case, if I'm not say too much interested about changing the default configuration, what can I do? I can actually create a new one also. So first, let us see. Oh yeah. So let me now go back and let me say I want to create a new one. So let's just go to new, and then let me go ahead and create a configuration and naming it as sample custom. And once I create sample custom, I'm now able to choose the columns that I need. Now, in my new standard columns or column fields, I can actually choose, I can take even custom fields. In this case, I'm not too interested to, let's say, add more standard columns. So I can actually go into see if there are more custom fields that I can add to the column configurator or the column configuration screen. And I can choose any custom fields as well. Again, I'm not too bothered right now about custom fields. So let me just add whatever I've just selected as my configuration. And once done, once I choose what I need, I can just go ahead and, I can just order them and I can then, if it's all fine, I can change the order if I need to. Otherwise, I can say done and I can select this configuration for my next search results that I want to see. So if my column configuration is now selected, I can now see that I'm able to view only the 4 columns. Once I select this on my search screen, let me actually select this column configuration now. Yeah, so let me go ahead and choose that one. Now you can see only those 4 columns which I configured on the column configuration screen are visible to me on the search results page. So this is called column configuration usability capability. Next, what we'll do is, we'll now see another interesting GenAI capability which we added uh, as part of 14.12, and this is regarding smart tags on images. Now, what is smart tags? It allows auto tagging image assets as soon as they are checked into WebCenter content. Uh, Interesting. So let us see how this works really. WebCenter content, as you know, is a unified enterprise-wide document hub. So which means, it provides various ways of mechanisms to tag assets. Assuming I'm a marketing team member of an organization, I'm really tasked to, let's say, upload image assets received from the agencies, external agencies that I have. So these image assets are marketing collateral assets, which can be videos, images that I need to upload into a folder. Let me browse through the folder. Let me first select a profile and let me now upload some images that are received from the external agency. As I mentioned, it could be videos also, it could be, any documents also. So for now, I'll just select some image files. And now I'm able to add the metadata, right, for that image file that I selected. Here, I'm tasked to add all the tags also. Now, this is the pain point for me, right? I'm required to add all the tags which are based on what is the image content. And that's a tedious task. In this case, would it not be better if, if WebCenter content provided me smart tagging? So let me actually get into the library as an admin. Let me go to library. Let me show you that I can toggle this option to switch and enable smart tags and then click save. What will this do? This will enable smart tags, which means as soon as I upload an image, it will get auto tagged, as soon as check-in happens. So once done, all the image assets that are uploaded will basically start getting auto tags. Now, instead of me applying all the tags or manually filling in the tags, I will just fill in the required fields. That is still needed, right? I mean, there are some required fields that you wish to still mention. So let me select this file again, and now let me just mention what all is required, so that I will have to still mention. If you don't have required fields, of course, you may skip this step and you don't have to really mention those. Now, once I upload this image asset, let me upload it now. And then if I go back to the viewer, what am I expecting? I'm expecting it to have all the tags auto-generated. So let us just upload this. And now let me go to the viewer. Now, if you go to the metadata section after opening it in viewer, you would notice that all the tags generated automatically start showing you as part of metadata field called tags, right? That's the beauty of smart tags. And if you see now, you are able to even remove or delete the tags which you find are not relevant or not properly generated by the AI service. Now, you can remove these tags. You can even add another tag if you find, the AI, generative AI has not really tagged a particular, metadata that you wish to, and you can add that as well. So all these changes are easily available to you as part of smart tag capability. Another key usability feature, in WebCenter content, we introduce is public links. Now, public links is generally used for external collaboration. And how is it helpful? Actually, we'll see this demo and you'll have a better understanding of what can it do. So, again, WebCenter content does allow ease of external collaboration. We all know that. I mean, if you've used it. But one such example is collaborating with external agency. Let me go and create a collab folder. Why? Because I want to share a folder with external agency so that they can upload some documents they don't have access to WebCenter content. So what I'll do is I'll create this folder. I actually go into the property section and then view the option to create a public link. Let me actually show how you do that. Just select select the folder. And now if you go to the property section of this particular folder, you will be able to, yeah, let me first create a folder because right now I was just looking at the file, which I can share as a public link. But in this case, let me create a folder and share that as a public link. So I'll create a folder, go to the collab folder and open that in the property section. In this case, if you see, the option to create a public link, it's very simple. You will see the existing links, but you can system links, which is available there. But now you can create a new public link. I can also, share a document or a content item as in the same fashion, right? As the very first step, I'll provide a name for the public link. So let me provide a name. as well as an optional description. It's again optional. If you want to provide, you can, otherwise you can skip that. More importantly, I'm able to change the permission level for this folder as a public link, because external users can either just read the folder or they can upload a new document to this folder, right? So read, write. In this case, I want to provide an access code which will act as a password, as well as an expiration date which will allow them to access this public link only for the for the duration that they are supposed to. So I can actually save the public link now and copy this and share it with my external agencies. And by just doing a link sharing, I can actually copy it and share it on email as well. So this way, once you share the public link, the external agency user will access this same folder without logging into WebCenter Content. Let me actually impersonate. Let me impersonate as an external agency user. Let me take the same link, and let me now provide the access code given to me. And using the access code, you can see I can open that same public folder, public link folder in the Redwood UI, and now I can upload a new document or an image or a video asset into the same folder without having an access to WebCenter Content as a WebCenter Content user. I can still do this, and I'm able to. This is called anonymous user login, right? Because I don't know who has logged in. At least I can track this, this particular activity using the access code as an admin later on. So that's another capability of usability which is rightly added in WebCenter Content. Uh, right. Now, this allows agency user to upload documents as well as assets, as I told you earlier, and allows them to view what they've uploaded also. They can also view this in the viewer along with the summary, along with the metadata. So that's also a key factor, so that they can update metadata if they want to. Next, uh, annotations. Annotations form a key feature for collaboration. Again, when documents or content items are in a workflow, whether it's enabling sticky notes, highlights, text boxes, line annotations, or redactions, for example. Again, let's go through this so that we can understand. Let's say I need to initiate a price list document through a workflow and let the other users annotate on the same. So what will I do? I'll just select the document, open it in unified viewer, and then the price list document opens and shows the pages. As you know, on the left, there's a toolbar. On the left, I can enable annotation, and now I can see what all annotations are possible. Right? Let me start adding a highlight annotation and drag and drop that annotation to the section where I need to add a comment or a highlight. Now, if I need to specify a comment to add the date on this section, I'll just mention in the description to insert date on the top of the page. Simple as that, right? Likewise, I mean, we can also set up permissions for this particular annotation, whether it is standard or hidden, right? I'll talk about that in a while. While with this, let's go ahead and change or update the other metadata properties. I can change rotation of the annotation, or I can change the alignment that we need. I can also make changes to the UI, like look and feel of the annotation. I can change the background color, or I can even change the border style, width or border color. All these are like UI elements, right? And after changing these settings, I can easily save the annotation and then go back to the page and add one more annotation. Let's say this time I want to add a box type annotation, right? So let me add a box annotation. Yeah, box. Now the box annotation again gets added, and I can drag and drop to the section where I need to place the annotation. Again, in this case, if I have to ask the user to add the labor cost, for example, as a new column to this document, I can just go and put that annotation and add the description to include the labor cost in the total price. And then I can again go ahead and change the UI settings, and then save this annotation. So you can see that I can change the properties in the properties panel after clicking on the pencil icon for any of the annotations that I'm adding. Isn't it easy for any user? Now, next, let us add a stamp annotation. And again, you can drag and drop the annotation onto the page wherever you wish to place it, and you can resize it according to your requirement. Okay. Now, once you click on the pencil icon, the annotation property shows up, as we know. Now, the important here is that to understand, you can change the stamp annotation to be of different types. For example, a stamp could be approved, icon like approved, or icon like hold, or icon like received. How do you do that? Just this drop down, and you can, select whatever you want to select as an icon. Uh, Once done, I can save this annotation. Let me select something and let me save. And now let me go back and try adding one more stamp annotation to show you how delete happens, right? How you delete an annotation. So let me just add one more annotation. Let's say I added another stamp annotation by mistake, right? So we can just go back to the pencil icon now again, and then there's an option I can see to simply delete an annotation, right? All this based on the security permissions that you have. That is important. Now, that's how you delete annotations if you no longer need it. Next, let us now add a sticky note on the page. Again, just drag and drop the sticky note to the right section wherever you need to place it, and then click on the pencil icon. Again, just to mention, the textual description is important for sticky notes, so update it as part of the note. And then I can clearly mention that if you see this now, you can actually make edits using a rich text editor. So there's a RTE here, a rich text editor that can enable you to do all that you do in a normal editor, where you can change a lot of rich text components on the document. Now, as I mentioned, there are permissions to not all annotations should be seen as allowed by all the users to be modified, right? So redaction is another example. So redaction annotations should not be allowed by any edits. So permissions such as standard annotation that appears on document for all users and users who have standard annotation security, all that can be easily applied. Redactions or restricted annotations are also visible to all users, but they can only be modified by specific users that are granted the restricted permission. So all this is fine-grained security model that is already in place for annotations. With that, let us now move to the next section before we jump on to the administrative part, which is how does Oracle Web Center Content support seamless integration with O365 for the web? And this allows user to view and edit documents directly within the browser. The integration is also enabled through Oracle's Cloud Service Provider program, which is CSPP, providing a secure and efficient way to collaborate on content. Right now, let us see a demo to understand how this works. So it's a crisp demo, a brief demo. I really want to edit a document without explicitly downloading. So I just need a subscription of O365, as I told you. Once I have that, I go to the folder, I open the document in viewer. And in this case, I can see that it's a Word document. Let me open it in viewer. So I can actually see the document has a revision also, but now I can go and view it in Word. So I'll just say view it in Word, and then in the mode drop down, and it opens up in Office Online, which is Office Word or O365, right? Word application. And here in this case, it's just a view. I cannot really edit this document because I've just opened it in the view mode. But if you're interested to edit this, let me go back. Now I can see the option to edit. So I can just say edit in Word. So when you say edit in Office Online, it will open up in Word. Now this time you can actually make some edits. So let me just go ahead and add something or just change the title, and then just save it. Simple save, I can just do a control S or simple save, and it automatically gets checked in back into WebCenter Content. So it creates a new revision in WebCenter Content. Let me now go back and view the details in WebCenter Content. If I refresh the screen, you can view that the document is now in the viewer, but it shows you revision 2. So let me show you that. Yeah. So this is the new revision that has got created. So that's how O365 integration works very seamlessly with WebCenter Content now. And with that, we also have out-of-the-box integration with Windows Explorer, not just O365, but the desktop edition. And Windows Explorer uses WebDAV. It allows users to access and manage content as it was part of the local file system. This enhances usability and encourages users for adoption as well. I mean, see, WebCenter provides you direct integration with Office desktop as well, Microsoft Office desktop, and it enables users to open, edit, or save documents from within Office also, right? So Office desktop plugin enables users to ingest documents directly from Office applications such as, let's say, Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. And this integration allows users to save files directly into content repository or WebCenter Content without actually leaving Office interface, the way you just saw in O365. So the same integration with desktop as well. And we recently introduced Outlook 365 web browser plugin also on Marketplace. Regarding Windows Explorer, users can easily ingest documents and other content directly from Windows Explorer also into WebCenter Content that uses WebDAV integration. So you can easily drag and drop files into designated folders, while you're on the Windows interface. So all this is part and parcel of the desktop integration suite. Now we'll get into understand what are the benefits that WebCenter Content has to offer in terms of admins. Most of the users are end users, admins are few, but still we need to give the benefit of usability to admins also. So let us see what are the capabilities over there. So first and foremost, provisioning. OCI provisioning. So provisioning option for WebCenter images are available in our OCI Marketplace, and it makes it much easier for administrators to set up and manage their environments. A simple guided setup process is available in OCI. Admins can quickly use that, create clustered environments for production or even non-clustered environments for development. right? This saves a lot of time, reduces the chances of manual errors during setup as well. The same process also supports setting up disaster recovery environments, and it also helps admins ensure that their systems remain available during outages, right? Now, this could be cross-region setups, DRs, and hence these are easier to be configured now. Another key benefit is that the same wizard-based method can be used to provision all WebCenter platform products, whether it is WebCenter content, imaging, capture, everything is consistent here. And it makes it easier for your teams to manage the entire content platform without really needing to learn different setup steps for each product, actually, right? Since the platform runs on Oracle's reliable infrastructure like OCI, an Oracle database, administrators get a scalable, secure, and high performing environment, really. And it also integrates well with the other OCI services which I talked about. And other OCI services means monitoring, patching, or overall management, right? So I think this is a critical part of admin usability. Other thing is OCI also offers powerful tools that help admins manage and monitor, let's say, the Web Center content environment. How? Let's say it provides ability to use a single script to patch everything, like the JDK, Java Development Kit, or the WebLogic server, or Web Center content for that matter. So instead of applying updates one by one, this script allows admins to handle all patches together, saving time, reducing any mistakes. So, and there are also built-in scripts to start and stop WebLogic servers out there, which means administrators don't have to manage these tasks manually. And these scripts make it easier to control the environment during maintenance or troubleshooting also. OCI also provides you built-in dashboards and monitoring tools out of the box. And these dashboards show real-time information about performance or health of your Web Center environment and related resources also, like compute instances or load balancers for that matter. Now, this helps administrators to quickly spot and fix issues. And then metrics are also collected automatically every few minutes that are displayed in the OCI monitoring dashboard. And admins can even set up alerts to get notified if something goes wrong. For example, high memory usage is happening, right? And then logs from the WebLogic and WebCenter can also be sent to OCI's centralized logging service, where admins can easily search, filter, or analyze those logs. Now, this makes it much easier to track down issues, understand the trends also. Overall, this tool gives admins a central place to patch, monitor, manage Web Center environments, and that makes their life, of course, easier. With that, let us talk about administration aspect around Web Center content itself. So the admin client tool or the administration client tool allows system admins to manage and configure different aspects of Web Center content itself, like the desktop tool, right? It includes a configuration manager, as you can see on the screen right now. This manages metadata. Or there's a listing here. Workflow admin is there, user admin is there. So I'll talk about this in a while. But these are just a few that I mentioned. It helps ensure that content is organized, secure, and accessible to the right people. For example, the user admin. So administration client supports complex environments, and then it makes it suitable for enterprise scale deployments also. And it is a compatible with other different operating systems. So you can use it on Mac, you can use it on Windows, for example. And there are helpful tools like batch loader, content analyzer. They also assist with various tasks like importing a large amount of content or troubleshooting issues. All these features work together to actually simplify your administration and reduce any system downtime. And overall, if you see, administration client is essential for keeping the Web Center content system stable, efficient, and of course, well organized. So this, there is an option for web interface also, which is called Fusion Middleware Control. So you can use that as well. So using that, admins can monitor server health, check logs, or let's say manage performance, and then configure those settings like SSL and all that. What you see on the screen is the admin client, the desktop client. So while I'm talking about that, I think it makes sense to just talk about one or two such aspects. For example, configuration manager. Now, configuration manager is a key tool because an important tool because it allows core administration for, let's say, managing and customizing metadata. So it allows to create, modify, or delete your metadata fields, and then it helps you classify and organize your content easily, right? I mean, you can define field types like text, date, maybe drop down lists, and then you can control how these fields appear in your check-in forms also. It also allows for management of rules. Like, for example, you want a conditional logic, so that different metadata fields can be displayed based on type of content, right? Another tool is user admin. User admin is used to manage user access. User access like security, roles, I just talked about it. So it provides you an interface to create, modify, and delete user accounts, as well as assign users to specific roles, accounts, and security groups. Right. Now that we know there's admin tool, there's surely admins have access to those tools. But what if I can provide you these capabilities using Gen AI or AI agents? So recently released AI agent framework in WebCenter content allows easy creation of RAG agents or even tool agents to help users retrieve information or perform these tasks directly. Isn't it interesting? I mean, RAG agents, right? I mean, so they use enterprise content to actually provide you accurate answers also, while the tool agents can use actions like updating metadata or managing folders. And then admins can set up agents, and we will see this in a quick demo. So let me actually show you a demo. It becomes a little easier. Assuming I'm logged into WebCenter content, you will notice a section for AI agents. Within that, there is a let's say an onboarding AI agent. Now, as the name suggests, whenever a new WebCenter content image is provisioned on Marketplace, there are many configurations to be set up. Generally, admins will perform, using some client tools, which I showed you. So, agent has access to WebCenter content's documentation agent or a couple of other agents also. In this example, we'll show you security agent also. So, it guides you on what needs to be done, but it also performs actions on your behalf. So in this case, as you can see on the screen now, there are other agents like security agent or documentation agent, right? So, okay, let me go to Redwood UI and show you and switch to onboarding agent. Now I can ask and converse with the onboarding agent. I can just ask what all actions are part of onboarding process and maybe rephrase by saying that, what are we going to do in the onboarding process, right? So it details all the key steps which we are going to do, as part of onboarding. So for example, we need to identify the departments in the organization. So it will just tell me, what all is required. So it will give me those steps. Yeah, these are the steps, right? So I need to create departments, I need to create roles, I need to create security groups. So at this point in time, it will define roles for you, it will define the security groups for you, right? So it will also assign specific privileges for those roles, right? How is that done? So yeah, in this case I can just say that let us start onboarding. Assuming I have two departments in my org, say demo department A1 and demo department A2, it just understands what I am trying to say. So let me type it. So let me just type what I want to do. I want to create new departments. So I'll just mention that in my in my chat interface. Yeah. So I mean, this is one key aspect of what you can do with an agentic AI, because you are letting the agentic AI take some actions on your behalf, right? And after these security groups are created, let's say I mentioned these departments, it will create those security groups. And once those are created, I can actually even create roles, right? So if you can see, it tells me that these groups are now created. So do you want to create roles? It asks me whether I wish to specify the role names, or I let the AI agent choose the same. In this case, let me let me actually ask the AI agent to create the roles, right? So I have given the same department names, so I want the same roles to be created. So next it will ask me if I want to grant some privileges for these departments, and if I want to understand what other privileges are there, etc. Right? So I mean, all I want to say is that I can keep on responding, I can keep on asking more questions. It will continue to take actions, right? I'm not going through the whole process here in the interest of time, but it is understood that it gives a lot of flexibility. Likewise, different agents in WebCenter content can perform various actions, and admins can really, take a good benefit of these AI agents. And Oracle Web Center also offers interactive report dashboards with drill down charts. It highlights, like accessed content and tracks usage by users and formats also. For this demo, as an admin, I need to, let's say, get some content and user insights from reporting dashboard. So it supports enhanced out of box reports. So under administration, I can actually see this option to open the dashboard view. Let me just go there. And there are some key metrics as drill down charts that I can see. For example, the content most accessed, right? Or content accessed by user group, or content accessed by a format. I can actually get into the drill down for any specific chart also. For example, let me get into, let's say, top content access, right? So if I go by access by format or top content access, I can actually see what are the details around that particular drill down. So right. Here you can see, some details about, the author. You can see details about, the number of times this document was accessed. We can actually drill down into another chart, or if we can go to the top content accessed by format to see images accessed, you can see the access history also. And you can view details of any one record easily at that point in time. I can also see the top content accessed by a user. So let me go back here. Yeah, let me go back to a particular user, let's say demo user, and let me see the information for any user to get a glimpse of what it is shown. Overall, the reporting tools, they support better content management and gives you, easy way to have informed decisions, right? Not just that, I mean, It also allows users to apply custom data filters using multiple filters to, let's say, narrow results and search within those columns for, let's say, precise data analysis. These reports can be customized by showing or hiding columns and include detailed tracking also. Let me show you a demo for this. Uh, so back on the dashboard page, I can actually change the count of items that I see. From top 5, I can change it to top 10 or top 20 easily, right? Likewise, I can also change the duration. Uh, let's say from the month, I can mention that I want to see these results only for this week or maybe for this year. So let me actually say instead of this week, I can see this month or this year. Yeah, here I can select which ones I want to see, top 5, top 10, and then I can select which which duration I want to see. But let us see how it changes the results on the screen. But what if I want to have custom search and query on these results? Let me actually go to content access report drill down and show you after selecting some content access report by some period. In this case, you can actually go ahead and change the duration from and to basis on what the requirements are. Once you submit the details specifying the from and to dates, you can see results appearing on the screen. And this drill down, let us say the column accesses. If I mention that the column has to have value 10, which may not yield any results, I can actually go ahead and change the operator to say greater than 10. So I can use different operators, right? I can say greater than here. Okay. So you can see all the different filters you can apply. You can, use different ways to search, and you can filter down. So I can go ahead and select a filter now, and I can see what are the relevant documents. You can also get the results further filtered, and you can filter those on other rows if you want to. So I think this gives you a good handle of how reports work in terms of the dashboard view. With that, let us now understand and touch upon the enhanced experiences for developers and how it offers a robust and flexible developer experience, making it highly extensible for development community. But let me actually not dive too deep into it, because developers, if they know how to use REST APIs, they can easily do this. So WebCenter Content has been known as an enterprise document hub. That means REST API becomes a critical aspect. So it's very important addition to developer community, because REST APIs brings out the real benefit of WebCenter Content being a true headless document hub or an enterprise document hub. We have had the benefit of RIDC or SOAP services, but true flexibility comes with REST APIs because it allows developers to easily integrate these applications with WebCenter Content, isn't it? And I would request you to take a look at the documentation also. There are services like uploading document, downloading, or updating document. There are workflow related REST APIs like approving workflows, rejecting workflows, or getting workflow information. And then there are folder REST APIs also, like browsing folder, creating folder, getting folder information. So many such REST APIs are available. Only thing is that these REST APIs need to be translated to IDC service request, and the results of the requests are returned as JSON. So I mean, that's critical. If you have any queries around the REST APIs, please do reach out to us. And the last part is, the UI frameworks that we have introduced. So with the advancement of UI frameworks, we have also introduced Oracle Apex and Oracle VBCS as popular developer community enhancements. So for example, WebCenter Content, if you provision this image in Cloud Marketplace, you get the benefit of provisioned Apex service. This Apex service can be used to create dashboards, custom apps, and can be used to build WebCenter Content apps also. So that's the best part. So, and here in this case of Apex also, WebCenter Content and both Apex are SSO enabled. So REST APIs can be easily leveraged around Apex by Apex developers. Around VBCS, that's another choice, and it is a preferred option because for Fusion ERP customers, it allows extending the features very easily. And there are Redwood UI based VBCS components that are now available for developers to easily extend any custom content management application using VBCS components also. Again, please do reach out if you have any further information that you need on this topic. With that, I'd like to mention a few key resources that are of great help in your journey to WebCenter content modernization. And you may please take a note of this and then bookmark this. We'll share these later with you. Let me now hand it back to Borna for the last section.
Awesome session. Really appreciate your time and help with the session. I hope it was a great learning experience for everyone. Aside from answering the poll, we also have additional resources available for our Day One Beyond series that we have planned throughout the month that are upcoming if you're interested in additional learning as well. So we have our core series that we have gone through today as well as our analytics series, hands-on series, cloud security series, and as well as our Did You Know series. And if you're interested, our Day One Beyond website has further details on each session. That being said, if you enjoyed the session, like for us to conduct additional personalized training sessions for your organization, please do reach out to us and we'll be glad to work with you. We hope to see you then. That being said, I hope everyone has a wonderful day and thank you for joining today's session.